questions should also be raised on the premier spy organization of the world, the CIA. Because if the ultimate goal of the United States was to wipe out the top Iranian leadership and to dismantle the Iranian nuclear program and missile manufacturing capabilities, that could have been done covertly using the CIA. Instead, the Americans chose a direct confrontation with Iran, which led to the choking of the Hormuz Strait and massive missile pounding the Gulf, coupled with spending of billions of dollars in the conflict. If the Americans always wanted to bomb a country in the end, why do they even have a secret service agency? Maybe the CIA isn't capable enough of stopping Iran's nuclear program covertly, so it defaults to bombs instead. Hollywood has spent decades selling the myth of CIA as an all-seeing, all-knowing force, agents slipping across borders, executing flawless missions and outsmarting entire nations from the shadows. But reality is far less glamorous. Behind the cinematic brilliance lies a record filled with miscalculations, flawed intelligence, and operations that often fail to achieve their stated goals. The gap between the real and the real is stark. Because in the real world, intelligence isn't about dramatic takedowns. It's about accuracy, foresight, and restraint. And time and again, the CIA has shown that it can project power, but struggles to consistently deliver precision when it matters the most. And it's not that only I am saying this. Big luminaries in the spy world say this. To delve deeper into this, I want to quote a conversation from the book The Spy Chronicles, featuring former RAW chief A.S. Dulat and former ISI chief Asad Durrani, moderated by Aditya Sinha. The conversation goes as follows. Asad Durrani says, I never rated CIA assessments highly. Never. They don't believe they have to carry out good assessments because in any case, they are going to set the place on fire. Bomb it. Essentially, they rely so much on the technology, it's only a facilitator. Ultimately, the assessment is made by human beings, like the Indian nuclear tests. I don't know whether it was done by design, but in any case, their intelligence failed. Like when no less than Robert Gates came running to India and Pakistan in May 1990 in the wake of Kashmir uprising. Earlier that year, India partially mobilized its troops to its border with Pakistan. The ISI assessment was that India did not intend to wage war, as many essential items were left in the cantonments. Their government wanted to demonstrate seriousness to its public, so we kept most of our formations in their peace locations. We judged correctly. The US, however, saw Indian troop movement as well as some cranes moving in and out of our bases and concluded this might be missiles. Gates, however, scrambled to prevent a possible nuclear war. The point is, I don't hold them high when it comes to human intelligence or analysis. I have already mentioned how they got it wrong for both the Gulf wars. They were just providing an excuse for the US military action. Aditya Sinha says, you have mentioned that in the British setup, the MI6 doesn't do analysis. A.S. Dulat replies, it doesn't. But I was talking of the importance of human intelligence. You need people to work for you. If you are banking only on listening in on Hizbul Mujahideen, without context or without getting in the organization, quite often you will get disinformation. There is a limit to how much you can get technically. If it gets known, the adversary is warned and can use it against you. The KGB, CIA, Mossad, they are great names, but I agree with General Sahib that CIA assessments have not always proven correct. There's a lot of wishful thinking. You jump to a conclusion and prepare reports. That's not the way intelligence is collected. For example, I was about to leave Nepal in Feb 1980. The election had just happened in India and Mrs. Gandhi returned with a majority. Before the election, I spoke to some CIA people in Kathmandu and they were convinced that Babu Jagjeevan Ram would be the next Prime Minister. One had a bet with me. I said, no, Mrs. Gandhi is coming back. I haven't been in India for 4 years, but I can tell you this. They often back the wrong horse. KGB is tougher. But they have their crudeness. They are not the most sophisticated. KGB people have gotten into trouble in various countries. People say Mossad is the most professional, but I don't know. It is so tight and they are only concerned with their own agenda. It's difficult to say, but there have been some great Mossad chiefs. Sinha says, if Mossad was great, wouldn't Israel's problems have been sorted out? Dulat replies, problems don't get sorted out if you have a fixed mindset that this is what it is, this is what's right, this is what we know, and this is what's wrong. Then what will you do anyway? It's already done. There's nothing for you to find out or gain. You know it all. You have got to open your mind also. There have been Mossad chiefs like Ephraim Halliway, my contemporary, who was different. Durrani says, there were some credible heads of Mossad. One of them was there in Berlin at the Pugwash conference, and a predecessor of his. I found that after retirement, both of them said openly, so brazenly, that what their government of Israel had in mind about attacking Iran was insane. Dulat, yes, that's right. I want to conclude my conversation to establish that my argument is not biased. In fact, it reflects a shared assessment of the CIA from the heads of two intelligence agencies belonging to countries that have historically been at odds with each other. Pakistan's former ISI chief Asad Durrani and India's former RAW chief A.S. Dulat. To conclude, when threats turn into negotiations, when deadlines end in retreat, and when objectives change faster than the battlefield itself, it's not strategy, it's confusion at the top. Because power without clarity isn't strength, it's recklessness. And if this 40-day conflict proved anything, it's that America didn't just struggle to control Iran, it struggled to control its own narrative.